am Tilak. In this video we will see some basic concepts and the terminologies that are required to understand sequence and series. Let us start with the definition of sequence. There are many ways in which a sequence is defined. Let me use a very simple definition. I would define sequence as a collection of elements that may be numbers, alphabets or anything in an orderly manner. That's it. So you have to understand that this is what actually makes it different from a set. If we remove this part of the definition, then this would be a collection of elements, which is how we have defined a set. In a set, we know that if I define a set of the form A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 6, we can also define the same set A in a different way, wherein we would change the order in which the elements are listed. For instance, if we have defined A as 2, 3, 6, 1, it would still mean the same set, because in a set the order in which the elements are listed does not have any significance, right? But in a sequence it is not the case. In a sequence, in addition to what are the elements that are present in the sequence, we need to mention what is the position of each of the element. Okay, so when we consider a sequence, let us call that as S, we need to mention what is the element which is present in the, let us say, the first position. In the first position, let us say the element is 2, in the second position 3, in the third position 6, and in the fourth position you see there is again 2. This is one more difference between a sequence and a set. In a set, any element can exist only once, whereas in a sequence an element can exist any number of times. So a sequence is basically a collection of elements in an orderly manner, and you can see that every position there is an element. So we can alternatively define a sequence this way. It basically maps the position with whatever is the element that is present in the position, right? And how do we define the positions? In terms of the natural numbers. What is in the first position, what is in the second position, what is in the third position, fourth position, and so on. So we can alternatively say a sequence is a function which maps natural numbers to real numbers. So we can say that S of 1 is equal to 2, because in the first position the element is 2. S of 2 is equal to 3, S of 3 is equal to 6, and S of 4 is equal to 2. So this way it maps natural numbers with the elements that are present in that particular position. So now we will write the other definition. A sequence is a function whose domain, what is the domain, what are the numbers for which it is defined? It is defined for natural numbers, whose domain is a set of natural numbers and whose range, what is the range, is a subset of real numbers. It's a subset of real numbers. That is provided if it is a real sequence. Now sequence can also have terms that are complex. So in that case the range will be a subset of complex numbers. And this is the definition that is generally given in most of the books. Next, let us see what is a real sequence, because I have already mentioned it. Let us just write it down here. A real sequence is a sequence in which all the terms are real numbers. Next, what is a finite set? Finite sequence. What is a finite sequence? It is a sequence, as the name suggests, in which the number of terms or finite. So alternatively, an infinite sequence is the one. Alternatively, an infinite sequence is the one in which there are infinitely many terms. A sequence in which the number of terms are not finite. Okay, then how do we define various terms of a sequence? For example, if we consider a function, we can define a function using its rule of association. That is, if I say f of x is equal to x plus 3, this rule of association says that for a particular value of x, the value of the function is 3 added to it. The same way, if we know the position of an element, we should be able to determine its value using some rule of association, the one like we have here. So we can write that as, for a sequence A, we can write A of n, which gives the value of the element in the nth position as something like, let us say, n plus 2. Then we can say A of 1, which is the element in the first position of the sequence, is equal to 1 plus 2, that is 3. Something like A of 3 is equal to 3 plus 2, that is equal to 5. And this way we can determine the value of element in any position, right? This notation is not used generally. Instead, we use A subscript n is equal to n plus 2. This gives the value of the element in the nth position. So we call this as nth term, also called as general term. So this is how we will define many sequences. We will define it as a sequence an such that the term an is equal to n plus 2. Next, let us see what is a progression, because often we get confused between what is a progression and what is a sequence. What is the difference between these two? Let us see. Now, progression is a sequence in which you can determine what is going to be a particular element if you know the position, which means there has to be a particular pattern that is followed. If I simply write down some elements like 1, 3, minus 4, 7, 6, 0 and so on like this, wherein the elements do not follow any pattern, then we are going to call this merely as a sequence. Whereas if I write something like this 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 and so on, so here we can determine what is going to be the next term, unlike in the previous case. In this case, if I ask you what will be the next term, we cannot determine what that would be, right? Whereas in this case, we can say that the next term is going to be 11, and the term after that will be 13 and so on. So this sequence here, if you see, the elements of this sequence actually follow a particular pattern. They are basically the odd numbers, right? So this we call as progression. It doesn't have to be a set of odd numbers. What I am saying here is any sequence in which the elements follow a particular pattern, we call that sequence as a progression, but it still can be called a sequence also. Okay, so every progression is a sequence, but a sequence may or may not be a progression. It would be a progression if the elements follow a particular pattern. So let us write the definition. A sequence in which the elements, what do? Follow a particular pattern. Then we call that as a progression. So there are various kinds of progression. How many progressions are there? When I ask this question to my students, before I introduce progressions, of course, they tell AP, arithmetic progression, geometric progression, harmonic progression. Some people even tell AGP, which is arithmetico-geometric progression, and then they will tell, okay, these are the 4 kinds of progressions that is there. But this is not correct. How many kinds of progressions are actually present? There are infinitely many progressions. You can just define something like an is equal to n square plus 2. This becomes a progression. Why? Because there is a pattern, and if there is a rule of association, there obviously is a pattern, right? So since there is a pattern, and then we can tell that this lists elements which form a progression. So we can alternatively write another sequence, an is equal to n cube plus n square minus 1. Here also we can determine what is the element present in the second place, third place, or anything. Since we are able to do that, and why we are able to do that is because the elements follow a particular pattern. So this also we can say actually defines the nth term of a progression. So when somebody asks you how many progressions are actually present, you have to say that there are infinitely many progressions. You can just like that make up any number of progressions as you want. Next, increasing and decreasing sequence. Increasing and decreasing sequence. So now we are back to sequence. So what is an increasing sequence and what is a decreasing sequence? Basically, if a sequence is such that every subsequent term gets bigger, then we would call such a sequence as increasing sequence. And if every subsequent term gets smaller, then we would call that as a decreasing sequence. So mathematically we can write that as a sequence an is an increasing sequence if the next term, how we would represent the next term for any term? Let's say an plus 1 is greater than an for every n belonging to n. So that is for every value of n, for every natural number, the next term will be greater than the previous term. Then such a sequence we call as increasing sequence. And alternatively, if an plus 1 is less than an for every n belonging to n, then we can call such a sequence as decreasing sequence. Next, what is a convergent sequence and what is a divergent sequence? This is very important actually. Convergent and divergent sequence. Actually, there is one more kind of sequence which I will mention. So what is a convergent sequence or a divergent sequence? Let me define a sequence an such that an is equal to n square. Now when n increases, what will happen to the value of n square? It keeps increasing. So when n tends to infinity, then we can say that an equal to n square also tends to infinity. That is, the value of the sequence keeps increasing without any upper bound. So we will call such a sequence as divergent sequence. That is not the only kind of divergent sequence. Here what is happening? The value of the sequence, the terms of the sequence increases as n tends to infinity without any bound. Okay, we can alternatively define something like an is equal to minus n square. So in this case you can see that when n is increasing, n square is increasing the magnitude, but it is increasing in a negative way. So here actually the value of the sequence keeps taking larger and larger negative values, or we can say it keeps decreasing without any lower bound. So here as n tends to infinity, an decreases without any lower bound. So these kind of sequences wherein the value of the sequence either increases indefinitely or decreases indefinitely, we will call them as divergent sequence. Let us consider another type of sequence wherein I will define an is equal to n plus 2 by n plus 1. So here what will happen when n is tending to infinity? You may not have studied limits, but that shouldn't stop you from determining what will happen to an when n tends to infinity. So when n tends to infinity, an is equal to limit n tending to infinity. What is an? N plus 2 by n plus 1. So that is equal to, what we will do, we will divide by n in the numerator and denominator, then what we will get, 1 plus 2 by n by 1 plus 1 by n. Now when n is tending to infinity, what will happen to 2 by n? It is tending to 0, 1 by n is also tending to 0. So we will get 1 plus 0 by 1 plus 0. So we can say limit n tending to infinity an is equal to 1. So here, as n takes larger and larger values, the value of the sequence, the value of the terms of the sequence will keep getting closer and closer to 1. So we can say that this is a convergent sequence, because as n tends to infinity, an tends to a finite real number. So we will define a convergent sequence as a sequence in which the value of the terms tends to a finite real number as n tends to infinity is called convergent sequence. Clear? Now we have seen what is a divergent sequence, we have seen what is a convergent sequence. Is there a third kind of sequence in this regard, which is neither converging to a finite real number nor is it diverging? Yes, it is called oscillatory sequence. So what is oscillatory sequence? It neither diverges to infinity or minus infinity, nor does it get closer and closer to a finite real number. It in fact keeps oscillating between two real numbers. For instance, if I define an is equal to sine n pi by 2. Okay, so let us see what is the value of this sequence. A1 is equal to sine pi by 2, which is 1. A2 is equal to, what do we get? N is equal to 2, so sine pi, which is 0. Then A3 is equal to sine 3 pi by 2, which is minus 1. And then A4, if you see, it is 0. And then A5 will be 1, and so on. So basically the value of the sequence will keep oscillating between minus 1 to plus 1. It neither approaches a finite real number as n tends to infinity, nor does it increase without any bound. So such sequence we call as oscillatory sequence.